Yeah. What up? What up? What up? It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Or maybe it's over. Maybe this is just the beginning. But I'm kind of hoping this is the end. Anyway, last week I popped in. We talked about what was happening with the battle. We had a good time. We talked to some friends who I love talking rap with my people. It's like old barbershop conversations. Nowadays, when I go to the barbershop, it usually ain't nobody there. So I don't get to have these conversations anymore. So we're going to have these barbershop chats right here live. And we got some friends with us, and hopefully more will join. But for now, let's just get it started. I'm going to have a few of my closest, nearest, and dearest homies who I really enjoy talking rap with. First of all, the stage. Kash Flo. Yo, yo.
What's up?
What up? What up? Yo, man. How you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm, there's a lot going on right now, and it's been made much more chaotic because this beef has consumed me to a degree, and I've been trying to navigate everything that I have to get done, and I'm definitely behind. But I'm good.
Yo, for real. I'm so behind too. Speaking of, there's a thing I need you to work on as well. Speaking of getting things done, if you get time, check your email.
Yeah. So I did see that.
Okay, good.
I got you probably this weekend.
Okay, cool. All right, so we have another guest, my man, 100 Grand. You've heard him on a bunch of my songs. You've heard him. You know, Mr. Slash himself. Grayson, what up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing?
What's up?
Man, good to see you, bro.
Honored to be back.
Man, last time we did this, this was a lot different. At that time, it was still, I think it was one track to one track. I think when we popped up, well, Drake had already had a few, but I feel like Kendrick's Euphoria, even the playing field at that time. And to me, that should have been like a precursor of what we were dealing with. Because
I think we did call it like a little bit of certain things he was alluding to.
I mean, yeah, we talked about it. We got into detail on the lyrics and about how he mentioned a lot of things and said, basically you don't want me to go deeper. And then we got deeper. Now, I feel like the whole thing is just muddied now because nobody knows what's real and what's not. But I guess the big question is, and I'll ask y'all, in a rap battle, does it even matter? Like, do facts matter at this point? Like, or are we just looking for the best songs, best bars, what hits hardest? Where do the facts matter?
I don't really think. I think they matter, but they don't matter as much as perception. And the perception bar, because there's stuff that they can't really verify certain things because after a certain point, it's a lawsuit. If depending on the teams, so I've seen people criticize Drake for not more explicitly dealing with certain things. And I'm like, man, if there's any teeth to that, it would be legally stupid regardless. Mm-hmm. But I think perception matters more.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like at this point, it's too hard to prove or disprove everything. So I feel like it's just who's making a better slap at this point. And so the reason why I think the battle can end, I mean, outside of all the outside foolishness that's happening, I think musically it can completely end because Kendrick did the thing that a lot of people were arguing that he couldn't do, was like make a slap that actually, was a hard hitting. And this dude damn near made the pedophile dance anthem. And I mean, when I'm talking about Not Like Us, and I feel like, and I would hate to think like that we've hit the top of what Kendrick can do creatively, because I mean, sky's the limit. But he's like, oh, all right, well, it wasn't just enough to just hit you hard with facts and bars. I'm gonna also give you something they're gonna dance to in the clubs all summer. Now, like, I feel like that to me is the nail in the coffin, because as kind of haunting and low key, like disturbing Meet the Grams was, he completely changed the mood, and like quickly, it wasn't even probably 8 hours later, to come back with, all right, now I'm gonna give you something to dance to. Completely change the mood up, and let's go. So to me now, like, he literally beat Drake at his own game, and I think that's the point that why I give the crown to Kendrick here, is because everybody knows Drake is the hit maker. He spent more time on the top than anybody. He's probably got triple the output of Kendrick at this point, Mike. But this week, I think this is about to be like 3 number ones, so we're on the verge of like kind of wild history. So it's very interesting. So let's just break down. I'm gonna go by track detail, just starting from where we last left off, because things got crazy. Last time I jumped on here was April 30th, and we talked about Euphoria. Then May 3rd, Kendrick drops a track called 616 LA, with a picture, a zoomed in picture of a Maybach glove. Now, there's been a lot of arguments about where this glove comes from, whose it is, what it is, whether it was Drake's personal property, whether it was planted. I don't know. Point is, this is actually one of my favorite tracks that I think kind of got lost in this. Is I really do enjoy Kendrick on like soul beats, and so him on
I wanted this on Spotify so bad. I still do. It's really like,
this is one I want to stream to. Likewise,
Yeah.
I felt like this is a good one. And in this track, he starts to insinuate that he says, "I'm like, have you ever thought that OVO was working for me?" And so he starts talking about how his whole team wants him to go down, trying to plant some seeds about what could be happening. Then, literally the same day, because I think this happened at 6:16 in the morning.
Yeah.
And this is a crazy time. I was in LA, and I was up early because I had a really early meeting, and I'm just like dead tired. But instinctively you flip open the phone, and you're like, "Oh shoot, he dropped. Let's go." And not to be one-upped, Drake drops probably his best track, in my opinion, of this feud, which was Family Matters.
That joint flat. That joint really went.
I think it's incredible. So let's just break down day by day. May 3rd was 616 versus Family Matters. And what did you guys think? Desh, what did you think?
So I am 616 is probably my favorite track. Hey, I see the Goku shirt, love. I 616 is probably my favorite track in this entire beef so far, not because it's the best track, but because it's Kendrick. I feel like it's the most diabolical with layers. Like Meet the Grams was really, really cold blooded. But the fact that, like, I view Euphoria as a response to Push Ups and 616 as a response to Taylor Made, because this song is literally, it's Jack Antonoff co-producing it. So the pettiness to say, "Oh, Drake, well, you're probably just jealous that I got the Taylor's feature and you don't, right? So let me just get somebody over here from the Taylor camp to help me make this other diss against you. And then on the diss, let me talk about how you're being betrayed when my relationship with Taylor Swift professionally came on a song where she's talking about being betrayed." I just think that's really diabolical, and just how that went about and the smoothness. I think, like, I love Kendrick's rapping the whole time, but I love the consistency of the flows on this song too, because they're really, really tight. He's not jumping around characters and moods and stuff. It's like he goes from really kind of, I guess, like philosophical, whimsical, reflective to serious warning, sinister warning. And I just think that's dope. But on the other side, Family Matters, I wanted to hear Family Matters as soon as Drake hinted at it at the end of Push Ups, just that beat where he's like, drop, 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 drop. I was like, okay, this is going to be super hard.
Yeah.
So that, just the flows and the punches and everything were great on Family Matters. Like I don't know, I know it was mostly centered at Drake, but he fired back at a few people. And really, I think if it weren't for the chess move that we'll probably talk about here in a minute, Family Matters really could have overshadowed everything else in this situation, just with how great of a put together diss track it was.
Yeah, seriously, it's so strong, but it got stepped on so hard. So
and with because not the only input, I'm gonna have other input, but 616 in LA is my favorite because personally it's like the one track, even though he alluded to certain things, it was like the last track before Kendrick went down to the level where Drake was already at. Because like in my opinion, and I do want to say this as a rapper who's, I've been in some conflicts lyrically. And even though people always say there's no rules in this, there's no rules, and it's like, nah, there's a line. And once that line is crossed, that's when if either people go that way, and then that's when the rabbit hole goes of how deep it goes, and then if it gets to where it gets to,
well, see, this is what I had
we
to
seen
ask:
the extent.
are there rules when the rules constantly get broken? Like, I think at this point,
I feel like
there might not be any rules anymore.
I think we mentioned this last time. I think I don't know if we can call it like we call it rules, but it's like, all right, hey, what's up, bro?
What's up? I'm on my way back home. I wanted to say something about the rules, by the way.
Word. It's just that I feel like there's a definite line, and it's like once that line is crossed, just like what happened with Drake and Pusha. Pusha said, "Oh, you want to mention my wife? All right, cool," and he did what he did. Now, in my retrospect or at least in my thought process of how 616, I'm gonna call it 616. I'm always calling it 616. It's Marvel. Ironic. But basically, I feel like while Kendrick was prepping for this battle, I feel like 616 was about to be the actual first one after like that until he I think it was a choice, like like a quick time event. Like if Drake kept it at bars, then Kendrick would have just gave 616. Because as I listen to 616, stylistically, it's like it's the older Kendrick, like in the sense of like how he flows. And then when you listen to like Euphoria, which I feel like he made within that time frame of why he took a little bit longer than, or not longer because it was only a few days, but he took longer than what everyone would like him to do. But then stylistically of how he rapped on that was resemblance to N95, Family Ties, etc. And with not only the flow, but inflections, the changes, the dynamic, like sayings inside of it, like so. Once I put that in my mindset of like, all right, 616 was probably going to be the first one, but then he realized that wasn't the bop. Euphoria is a bop, and it's dissing, and it's still alluding, but it's more like it's more petty. So people are going to go with it. It has more captions that people can put into their thing. He's playing at Drake's game that everyone knows or assumed that Drake was going to win in, which is the popular vote, internet vote, meme vote.
Yes.
And
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like I don't think the popular vote. Listen, like we've been talking about this potential battle for like 10 years, and for 10 years since the Controlverse, the cards have had Kendrick up because if you remember that Controlverse dropped, and Drake downplayed it, and that was considerably. I mean, I shared a clip of that. That was considered pretty shitty of him, and he had to walk back those comments. Specifically because he didn't want that. So, like the whole BET cipher that Kendrick did was seen as a response to Drake.
And Drake didn't do nothing.
So the streets I feel like he's been up on the cards for a minute, and then Drake has had some pretty strong beefs, and he's done well. I think it's hard for me to wrap my head around the 616 verse being made like as like what would have been the response, just because. I mean, I feel like every single one of those verses, like in the lyrics, and every single one of those, he references the fact that something crossed the line, like you said, right? Like, and it's widely being reported it's because Drake said something about Whitney. In one of the in push-ups, right? Yeah,
Okay.
and because of that pissed off Kendrick. And I mean, like, I understand, and to speak about the rules, I'm sorry I'm going too much, but like, to speak about the rules, I think there are no rules as long as everyone knows there are no rules. If somebody understands that, hey, listen, we're taking, because different battle rappers have different levels, right?
Mhm.
If you're battle rapping against somebody in URL or grind time, there are no rules. If you're battle rapping like on some industry shit and you're changing songs, there are rules depending on what's agreed upon, kind of substantially. If a line is crossed in that, like the John Cena on stage talking about the Rock's promos,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I feel
that's
like
what I'm saying.
there's a
Though, there's
line
a
until
line.
it's crossed.
Yeah.
But I like that point about having an understanding. You know, when you show up at a URL battle, everything is on the table.
Yep.
And I feel like
you gotta believe that.
I feel like with Drake and Kendrick, because my 616 is my hypothesis in my head. Like, I could be completely wrong at all, but it's like I feel like Drake and Kendrick are obviously not in those talking terms where they're gonna gain that understanding. So and yes, a lot of hip hop heads will probably have Kendrick up, and then there's a lot of people like on Twitter, especially now, Kendrick's up. You go to Facebook, sadly, at least on my timeline, there's a lot of people like, yo, man, Drake tricked him. I'm like, where's the proof?
But I feel like that's evidence that it's not, because Twitter is not a space. Like, those spaces, like, you have to understand, like, I feel like those spaces, that it's a media war we're fighting, right? Yeah. It's a media war of who is better at. I'm so sorry for interrupting you, Grayson. But I think it's a media war you're fighting, and I think, like, it's not only like it's because you have news articles, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, different platforms, right? Like, Kendrick has some stands on there, but man, there are a lot of Drake pundits and academics fans on
apparently bots.
Twitter, and who fucking love to. Sorry, did you guys lose me for a second?
Yeah. No. Well, we got you now. We got you. You like paused a little bit and then you came back in.
But it was
no. I'll bring you back in a second. But like, there's a lot of Twitter stands who are super big, like, into punditry, and they they were ready to eat up whatever, like, and 100%. The fact that that's a little bit middling shows that I think the way you judge a rap battle is by impact afterwards. Nobody's gonna admit they lost, but it's impact afterwards. The day after Machine Gun Kelly and Killshot, he was like, that's 6 out of 10, whatever. And then a few months later, he switched genres, right? So it takes time. It takes time because I remember going to a party and people were like, I think MTK won. I'm like, you're wrong. He's like, no, he won, and now he's doing punk rock music.
Yo, you're so right. Because I really thought, I was like, yo, he kind of got him. And it was kind of over with.
I think that's a very good part, is if any battle, because like, there's sometimes I debate, like, I feel like when it's Jay and Nas, sometimes I'd be like Nas just insulted, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'd be on that, but it's like when you look at the impact of what happened, not immediately after, but even as time goes on, when we look back in the history books, so we tell our kids and our grandkids, you're like, yo,
the bottom. I think that the bottom line is that something really, really great happened. We got a lot of. We've never gotten that many disc records in that amount of time ever in history ever.
Also,
some were dance records.
It was
close, but some were club records. Some were real disc records. It's a
variety.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah, the range of it too.
Crazy. It is wild. We got so much music. I felt like, and I said it in our chat too, Slop, like the one possible downside, I don't know what y'all think, the fact that we saw Kendrick put out so much music faster than he's ever done, when he's been a guy who takes years between projects. Is this giving up the sauce where it's going to make fans want music faster, quicker, especially in responses and things? Like, is this going to, the next time he tries to take a year off, we're going to be like, nah, man, because I saw you drop 3 in a day. Like, stop that.
Well, I feel like for one, because I feel like some people like I feel like the perception or the possibility that he had some of these loaded up. You know, like
oh yeah, I believe he did.
Yeah, so it's like
the fact is a big deal. Like he
Yeah.
dropped like that. If he was somebody who dropped stuff constantly, then those three wouldn't have been as impactful as they were back after back after back.
No, that's true. All
Like,
right, I like him better on soul beats. So that was like
Yeah,
he was
can you
my
let me-
language.
can you let me-
Walking for me.
I wasn't
Can you let
feeling
my
the beat
other-
at first,
my other
but it's
version
grown
be
on
it?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so it took a
I'm
minute
saying-
to get the beat.
Yeah, I was because at first I was like, man, really, like the Al Green, and that's the song that they was riding to in Menace to Society. So that's the whole tie-in with that part. So it's
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
The Ricky scene.
yeah, but
Yeah.
Kendrick
Check.
shit
Can
got
you guys hear me?
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Everything he does has a layer and a meaning, which is crazy.
Well, that
Like
was the title.
nothing is like accidental or coincidence.
Did you peep how he mentioned the back-to-back reference and then the two samples was the Teddy Pendergrass in the intro and the Al Green?
I seen that.
And then they came in the back-to-back CD.
Yeah.
Oh, this was also produced by Taylor Swift's producer too. If we're going by layers.
Yeah, we
That's
talked about that. Like the layer of you think I'm running with these pop stars or whatever. Actually, let's get a pop star on the track, a pop producer.
You know what I caught this time?
Not doing a pop track
and not do a pop track.
That's what blew my mind too.
Which is wild.
I caught something this time that we were talking about just a second ago with the fact that like, oh, he mentioned Whitney. Guys, in this, he also said like it was fun. Every single record he has, he's mentioned this was fun until this, and it's Whitney, and it's also him putting money out to get information. And I wouldn't look second at that, but except literally every person Drake has battled publicly has said that's true. So Pusha complained about that when they were battling. Common complained about that when they were battling. Yeah, Meek did too.
He did.
So all three of them
he got smoked by Common on his own record.
The Canada Dry,
that Canada Dry joint, that bar.
It was
I like it. I don't know. I ain't gonna. If it
it
came out today, people will be using it as a little caption. Like you catered. I think they would use it as a joke though too.
I'm not trying to take up the whole space, but I just because this is the first podcast I've been at, or hang I've been with a bunch of other rappers. So I want to talk about this very quickly, just very quick. Sorry. At least decent hip hop heads. Can we all just very quickly marinate? Like this is great, and we don't have to mention it again. But can we just marinate specifically on the Heart Part 6? Specifically, how bad that B sharp bar was. That was the worst bar I've ever fucking heard. That was the worst shit. I was like, that was the game when
you're like, oh, he's about to flip it, and then it's like he doesn't actually flip it.
Yo, but can I be real?
As a trombone player guy, I mean, I know everybody does music here, but like I thought, like you said, Red, I thought he was about to flip it. When he said B sharp, I'm immediately like, that's C. That's the relative of A minor. That's self-owned. That's like literally
it's
said
the worst wordplay. Like it's the most basic. Like you just learned how to rap in high school. You're like B and then flat and sharp. Oh my god, I'm so powerful with my music.
Somebody needed to. He needed information.
Grayson's trying to talk. Grayson's trying to say something.
Well, I was gonna. You're gonna laugh at me, right? Because like I'll be real. No instrument training at all, right? So for someone that don't know, I fell for it at first, and then I saw Desh's tweet right after, and I was like, "Oh man, what? I thought he was being clapped."
Yeah, nerdy me. I checked the scale, and I was like, "Wait, that's C, right?" And then I looked, and I was like, "It is C," and I was like, "Oh, my boy."
All right, okay. I don't want to. All right, let's not jump ahead to the Heart Part 6.
Sorry, I just need to get that.
That's the last chapter. So
this is the weirdest fucking rap beef in the history of rap beef. This shit is so weird the way this shit is unfolding every other fucking day.
I can't say it's very gossipy.
Bro. We're
it's
gonna look back and be like,
gossipy.
remember when they were dropping songs every 6 hours?
I love it, dude.
This is like shade room. This is like the shade room of rap. These is like shade room disses, man. It's like, oh, he said, she said. It's like men gossiping.
Nah, man. I think it's gossip. I disagree with that.
It's
like Nas and Hove would never.
Okay, so I have to
wait.
That no.
Wait.
It's the entire fucking beef.
Stop. Come on. Super ugly. I think we're in the super ugly phase of this beef.
Exactly.
Because both of them have made super uglies at this point. Where it's like, all right, let me just talk about their character. Let me just forget, because they can't talk about how they're not good at rap. Like, these are the two top guys. So what else you gonna say?
Alleged top guys. Alleged.
I don't know.
You see, J. Cole tried to talk about how To Kill a Butterfly was mid and almost got stomped out of existence. So.
Oh yeah. Once J. Cole had the audacity to say somebody else's music put him to sleep.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was such lack of self-awareness.
Hey, but I'll
tell
you this much. J. Cole is somewhere right now riding his bike with no shoes on, just
hitting the toes.
Man,
he wearing these.
He looks super smart. He looks super smart.
If we're all getting crazy texts like, "Yo, did you hear this? You hear this?" I'm sure he's getting that too.
He left his phone on silent.
He doing another one. Yeah, I'm sure he turned his phone off a long time ago. He's like,
that man.
Cole's getting a bunch of text messages like, "Oh, bro, I hope you're doing well."
You were right.
He's in Serenity.
You're like, you were right. No, you were really right. Oh, you were so right, bro.
You don't ride back.
And no matter how bad he wants,
okay?
he can't say a fucking word. No matter how bad he wants, he can't say shit.
I saw us talk. Last time we talked about this because that was around the time that Kanye decided to jump in this. He jumped on the Like That beat and decided to diss J. Cole. And I saw somebody say, I think it was Button. He was like, this would be the time for J. Cole to be like, you dog, and like destroy Kanye. Like, I would do that. I'm like, dog, you're nobody. So
I don't think J. Cole, he ain't built for a Kanye.
But no, he doesn't.
Kanye chew him up and spit it. Yeah, that'd be
ugly.
Well, because
I don't know that Kanye. I think Kanye now, like the dish he dropped, I thought that was kind of mid, to be honest.
I mean, he had no business putting his.
Yeah, no business putting anything out.
Himself in it anyway.
But his raps.
I don't even know why he went outside.
His raps are not good, but he would get somebody like Sky High.
Oh no, I think in a full-on beef, he'd probably take it. Just
a legitimate beef.
Yeah,
man, because Kanye brutal, man. He'll say anything.
Hell say anything.
He has no moral compass. Like, I think Cole, that whole thing, the reason that I think Cole really won here is self-recognition. Because I know if I were in this situation, like where I was one of the biggest rappers on the planet, and I know how I am when I get in conflicts with people, there's places I don't want to go, not because I can't go there, but because I don't know if I'd ever come back after a certain point because of how intensely I feel things and see things. And I just don't think it's really necessary to do unless it's a life or death situation. So when you go back to that bar where Cole says, if I'm not doing a beef, if I smoke a rapper, it's going to be legit. I know people laugh at him talking about stuff like that with how he is, but I actually believe him. I believe that Cole might recognize that after a certain point, he might be full scorched earth and it might be beyond the point of no return. And he's protected himself from that. But there's also
years. He might be serious.
Yeah, he might be serious.
He said that. He's like, yo, real beef leads to people getting shot and killed around here. So I don't want to do that.
I feel like Cole has a lyrical ability that if it was a bar for bar type of battle, then he can hold up. But I think at a certain point, especially with the news coming out that Schoolboy Q even told him, hey, you might want to sit this one out.
Right.
It's like, you know,
especially Q, dude. Q, that guy was no fucking joke. Yeah.
Yeah, Q's like, hey, bro.
I honestly think that the real winner of this battle is The Alchemist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm biased as hell, but he won this one.
Yeah.
Alk woke up the other day. I was like, oh, word? Fuck.
Like, oh, he used it. Oh, he used it. Oh, he used it.
He just picked a little record and it was like, oh, this sounds good. Those piano keys.
There's a picture of them in the studio working on it, and the homie Budgie's in the background. It's kind of crazy.
It's nuts.
I
saw that.
And it's like, it's just, and I think that's why I also liked, like, because I was thinking about, I'm like, all right, well, all these people not really rocking with Drake. There's gonna be a few people that could like make music or make beats with him. But it's like, I'm like, Kendrick is getting like all sides. Like, you got Taylor Swift producer, Alchemist,
top hits, you got underground cats, like
yo,
together. And
the hypey club banger.
I'll ask. I got a couple producers in here too, so let me ask: Are producers in the beef if they produce the diss record?
No.
Are you in the beef?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So if somebody comes to you as your alchemist, Kendrick says, "Yo, I'm about to smoke this dude on your track."
Yeah, the rare instance where you are is if like you're in-house producer, like if you're in the camp, if they know you are in the camp, then you were
like 40's in the beef.
Game.
Yeah,
like
40's in it.
40
can't make a Kendrick joint.
Right. That's just
he can't.
I mean, honestly, I tell Drake to kiss my ass and take that check. But that's me.
Yeah.
I was in a pretty public beef in 2016, and when that went viral, the producer, like when I tore the board of the guy, his name was, when I tore him up, like his producer started making memes about me holding a dick in my mouth and some shit like that. I was like, word? And they tried to friend me on Facebook. I'm like, I'm not gonna friend you on Facebook, bro. What the fuck?
Nah. So that was okay. So he was camp then. So like that was
the mercenaries for real.
He was camp. All right, I'm gonna run Family Matters real quick and let's talk about it. So I gotta stop right there. This is a line another one that backfires.
Misstep you could have made. The biggest misstep you could have made.
Yeah, it's like, all right, bro, we heard you. And it's actually the line after it is where he's trying to say what he's trying to say, but it's a terrible line to be like, yeah, man, you be what you want to get slaves free or something?
So now I feel like the real battle is they gotta out Hebrew each other. The Black Israelite versus the Jews.
Oh my God. Like an activist is make believe. Don't even go back to your hood and plant on money trees.
Can I say one thing? One thing I just want to say, like, and point out for the rest of us. I think Drake is more focused on trying to find the rhyme that works as opposed to the rhyme that hits the hardest. And that's why there's so many fillers. I just want to point that out as we listen to this and probably the next couple things.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think we do have to give credit to Drake for even doing the video and having a replica van.
Yeah,
100%.
Because if you're a fan, you know. So this is really well done.
But it ain't
anybody else would have been smoked. I think anybody else would have been done.
But it ain't this could have been a kill shot. Van from the real album cover, like it's a clean new van.
Yeah. It looks, and the funny part of the beginning is because before Kendrick's like, we don't want to hear you say the N-word no more, and then the first thing Drake's like,
that was hilarious.
I think he got way too many bars. I'm gonna just say that. Like you got a serious battle going on.
He's still hurt. He's still hurt.
He's talking about ASAP Rocky for way too long because no one cares.
That's why I feel like
let it go. They have a family.
That's why I feel like Drake lost.
Real quick.
Yeah,
I smoke a lot of weed. Somebody explain the Rakim name drop to me. What the fuck?
That's ASAP Rocky's real name, Rakim.
I didn't even fucking know that.
They named him after Rakim.
He's insinuated that he was hitting on Rihanna before, and so he's still.
No. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is what my homeboy Spec told me the other day.
Okay,
you know how Drake got that baby? Him and ASAP Rocky had a threesome with Drake's baby mama.
What? That's what I'm hearing.
That's type wild.
I don't know if that's speculation.
He said your nigga hit it first.
Like, hit it first. The person lied. Ew.
Drake messy in a threesome too.
So messy.
You gotta let it go.
That's so messy.
Took off his condom in the threesome and went crazy.
Melted him or something, and he has Pharrell's chains.
You know what's funny?
Interesting.
That the people that actually work at that Chinese store, that's probably the boss that never show up except like once in a while. He's in the video,
right?
Because I ain't seen that video in the local news.
That's funny because we don't know the timeline of when people recorded this stuff, but like he said, the business like skyrocketed after Kendrick mentioned the name of the joint and
local news too. It was highlighted.
And it was on the news. They talked to the guy. Was like, man, we love Kendrick. Kendrick showed us a lot of love. We love Kendrick. So, and then this came out. That's funny. It's really, really good. It's just, it's just really good.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
This verse is amazing. I'm sorry.
That verse is incredible.
He was snapping on this. He was absolutely snapping. I was like,
who is this guy? Who is this random guy? Like, that's the one thing. That's the whole video was fire, but I don't know who the fuck. Like, Drake is out here just like, no, man, I'm just making moves. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is with his woodshed in the middle of fucking nowhere.
With a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
What they do.
What are they talking about? It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm a really great carpenter, and I've been trying to make my way, and
like, I really appreciate your cousin shooting this video. I don't know why he wanted me to put you in the video.
This was such a
wait. Seriously, this is incredible, and the only reason I think this wasn't like a dog stomp is just how Kendrick sequenced in the timing, and I also think I'll hold the other thing until we get to Meet the Graham. But yeah,
I feel like this should have started it, or maybe if he would have separated these songs,
should have been the whole thing. That's it.
He should have held separated these tracks. This was 7 minutes. He could have held this half of it and made a whole separate song out of it, because this could have been a kill shot if it was timed better.
I might have to flip this sample.
But I think that's what let's go to when we get to Meet the Grams, we'll say. But I think the fact that this is so good and what came after is why we are where we are right now.
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah, it's not because like if this was like even like if this was anywhere worse and Meet the Grams dropped, like it wouldn't. I still think it wouldn't have been the kill shot actually. Like I think this is. I think it's a testament that Drake did so fucking well on this thing, and like and it's again it's something where if you are somebody who's like, yo, Drake didn't have any shots, like any rapper knows these are fucking shots.
Yeah,
like if when you beat on your, like, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you? That is a shot. And by the way, that whole thing is also misconstrued. Like I did a thing on my news show about it where it was like, the actual charge is from 2014 and a completely different thing that has nothing to do with Whitney Alford. But the fact that he related those two and made everybody talk about it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't know if everybody's talking about it, Zed. I don't think everybody's talking about it.
Every place I've been, people have been like, we need to see things about the domestic violence allegations. And I'm like, bro, you Google it, you can see it's a completely different thing. But that doesn't matter if you Google it or not. Most people are not going to.
They're not going to.
And that's stuck with Kendrick.
That's battle rap. It's perception. It's perception over fact.
That's it. Like somebody said, oh yeah, we don't know if Jay-Z was 36 in a karate class. We don't care.
Yeah.
Also, I saw somebody on being like, I saw somebody on say it's not a bar if it isn't true. That's such bullshit. Do you think NWA was just fucking each other on no Vaseline? Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
That's not right at all. Yeah, that's completely inaccurate.
It's like whose bars are witty.
That's also somebody
to add to that, like with. Because I said to pause the picture because like I was gonna make a joke like, oh, there's the planet evidence next to the tree he planted, but like no, like apparently that picture on the wall is supposed to be like the planted information of the 11-year-old that's mentioned in the next joint, and I'm just like, and that got debunked too, and it's just mad funny. It was just mad. I just also like Drake is. I feel like Drake has clever moments, but because I feel like he didn't look at. I don't think he treated Kendrick as a monster as he really is. I really thought.
So I disagree with that. I disagree with that in the sense that
he's treating him like a monster.
He did. He treated him like a.
I think he did treat him like too much like a monster, and that's why part of why Kendrick's on top. Because what he probably should have done is drop the 3-pack and not waiting for Kendrick, but it was like he was trying. Like he understood what Kendrick was capable of, so he tried to wait out Kendrick to drop as a response. But there was a comment on the chat that I think is really like a good synopsis. I think it's from Archie where he said Drake can rap and is incredible on offense. He's just not good on defense.
That's exactly.
And that's kind of he like set himself up to play defense. He set himself up to play defense, but he's not great at defense.
You don't play defense on rap. You don't play defense in a rap battle.
That's why the heart, and we'll get to it. That's why the heart part 6 is a fail, because he spends the whole song defending himself. He's back.
Got a mean uppercut, but he leaves his face open.
And at the same time,
that's the best. I think that's the best. And honestly, did you go over TaylorMade Freestyle before I dropped it?
Last stream we did last week, and which I thought was excellent. I mean, I think
it is too, and I think like what's funny about it is like there's really good bars. I mean, like AI aside, there's really good bars on there, and then like the other thing is I think when we're talking about dropping the 3-pack, I think that was him trying to drop the 3-pack. I think the biggest thing about Drake that he felt it was in his corner, and I think what kind of backfired. Well, we'll talk about it on the hard part 4. No, not the heart part 4. There's so many fucking hearts.
So many
dog.
hearts.
Like,
6, did he call it? Okay, so I'm gonna get through this, and then we're gonna talk about it. Then
oh my god!
Does anybody know? Was that really Kendrick Lamar's fiance's or ex-fiance's wedding ring that he's holding?
No, is that Pac's ring?
Is that the Tupac ring? I think that might be the Tupac ring.
Oh, okay.
The Tupac ring.
No,
he's still with Whitney Alford.
That's a big ass diamond.
That's like an earring.
No, because the Tupac ring has a crown on it, and he has it on the in the Chinese store. Anyway, where he said
Drake's a goof. He really bought Pac's fucking. What a
dog! Just imagine he got all Pharrell's chains. Just imagine how much goofy shit this nigga's bought in his life.
Yo, that's
also the fact, like all of those
the G Unit piece he has, like
remade. Like, no, he had that remade.
Oh, he had it remade.
Bro, if Drake has a G Unit piece, I'm praying for his life, dude. Like 50 Cent will fuck. 50 Cent is the best 40 rap battler because he will 100% kill you. Nobody will fight. Yeah.
The only person who has survived a rap battle versus any battle versus 50 Cent is Cameron.
It's Cam.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Literally the only one who survived.
But now Cam can't. He got to be quiet until he addresses the locks because they got smoked.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So,
that verse was a burial. All right, so
real, y'all. I gotta get going, but peace to all of you. Enjoy.
Risey, appreciate you popping in, bro.
Thank you. See you later, bro.
I see you, bro. Peace. So yeah, man,
I'm so happy I'm on this right now, man. I'm not gonna talk. Every time I've talked about it with everybody else, it's just been the most pedestrian shit. I'm like, nah, man, nah.
You gotta understand.
They don't know.
Nobody really, most of my homies don't.
When everything dropped, because I worked in the office, like everything happened. So I'm telling my coworkers, like she's Samoan, so she knows a little hip hop, but I'm like, yo, so like they beef, and she's like, yeah, I heard. All right, so this just dropped, and then I went to break for 15 minutes, and I came back. All right, so Kendrick just dropped. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so this happened. Family Matters. I don't remember the time, but the fact is, this is the same day.
30 minutes after.
It was. I got you on that. It was like 9:20 CST or something. I know.
Okay.
Because I was literally about to get on stage to play with this band that had picked me up to play trombone, their EP release. And it was like right before I was supposed to go on stage, I looked at my phone. It was in the 9:20 and 9:40 range, and I saw that Drake had dropped, and I was like,
Yeah, Vulture has a timeline, and they say it was about just a couple of hours later, 2 to 3 hours, which continued.
It was not. It was definitely not 2 to 3 hours because I was in the car. Like Vulture's wrong as fuck, and I will stand on business on that because I was in the car. And I got a message that Drake dropped, and it was 30 minutes, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I was in my car.
It was close. I don't know if it was that close.
No. I'm saying I watched the Drake video 30 minutes after it dropped, and then I made a TikTok, and I called my friend. I was like, "Bro, that's fucking crazy. I don't know when Kendrick's gonna drop." And I texted. I put in Kendrick on Twitter while I was writing, and they're like, "Can you believe Kendrick dropped?" I'm like, "No, he didn't." And then I looked on YouTube, and he had dropped 5 minutes later. So it was around like 30 to 40 minutes from my clock, right? That Kendrick dropped right after. It was not a couple hours later because it was within the hour. I was like, "What the fuck?"
It was within the hour for sure.
It was within that hour.
Yeah.
Because by the time
that's what made.
Shut the fuck up, Vulture.
Vulture sucks.
Fucking
this is
Vulture.
what made the stomp so official and effective because it was
big
like,
stepping.
Yo, that's a big stepper because this could have been a kill shot. Like I said, the timing is everything.
Yeah, if they had a chance to marinate in the public, it would have been.
If this would have marinated for 24 hours,
it would have been bad.
It'd have been different. So yeah,
but Greg wasn't expecting.
And also,
wow, this Drake asked for this. Like, let's not forget, Drake was begging for these responses. Like, he begged for this.
You didn't know how much he had.
And keep in mind, every track thus far has been an escalation. And keep in mind, like when we rap battle, we're always like, "Yo, we're coming at your head." The fact, like every time I've seen reactions to this, everybody's starting with the Drake thing, like, "Oh, this is crazy," and then when they start listening to fucking this next track we're about to listen to, and they're just like, "That's everything. That's over." Like when that's where you go.
I was like, you talk about escalation. This is like, it gets to the point where this record is like chilling. I don't think I've listened more than twice. Like, I feel like, okay, I heard enough.
This is on repeat in my house. I want this disrespect to be studied.
I
want this. Like watching DJ Academics listen to this is my Roman Empire.
Watch the bag in the video.
Adonis wins. I'm sorry that man is your father. Let me be honest. It takes a man to be a man. Your dad is not responsive. I look at him and wish your grandpa would have wore a condom. I'm sorry that you gotta grow up and stand behind.
Okay.
Hold up. You can't start like that. That's so disrespectful.
I wish your grandpa would have wore a condom.
He said, "Yo, you beat your wife." Yeah, I wish you. I'm gonna tell your son, I wish your grandpa would have condom.
Yeah,
listen, Adonis, you're a beautiful child. I appreciate you. By the way, I wish you never existed because fuck your father.
Yeah. Like it's crazy, and like the so anecdotally, I finished my gig. I came home with a honey, and we were talking about Drake and Kendrick, and we hadn't listened to either because of the gig situation. So we listened to Drake. It was like, yo, that was crazy. And we were talking about like just how the beats and the switches and the bars that we caught immediately. And it was like a cool conversation. I was like, okay, we're gonna play this Kendrick real quick. And she was like, bet. And we literally just sat there in silence, looking shocked the entire time. And when this and that first line, I had to stop it. Like we just stopped it because I was just like no words. I just had to stop it, like just for a second, and comprehend that Kendrick started this with, "Hey Adonis, I'm sorry that your dad's your dad. I wish your grandfather hadn't worn a condom." Just start.
That's some old school shit, like Eminem type shit too.
And speaking of
that, it definitely is. This
speaking of Eminem, that's also the amateur mistake a lot of people make when they're like, "Yo, this record was boring." I'm like, guys, that's an amateur mistake. Because I know a lot of people who I talked to about Ether. Like I had a professor who was like, "Oh man, Ether's beat is boring, but he won." And that's the thing, is like people would put Jay up above Nas from time to time, and then like but Ether fucking ended it, and fucking Killshot ended MGK, and people were like, "Killshot's boring. MGK shit is like where are we at now?" It's not about how much it bumps. It's about how much it hits.
Yeah, it's got to hit. Richie made a good. This thing hits hard, bro. I mean, Richie made a good point last time we did a stream like this. He said, I internalize a rap record of rap beef as what would hurt me the most if I heard it said about me. Yeah. And man, this song right here, I gotta pull it. We have to fight. Like I ain't no records. Like I just can't. You're talking about kids, son. You know what I mean? Like
do you guys remember when M was beefing with? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry about that. No. I was saying, do you remember when M was beefing with Ja Rule, and Ja released that thing about Haley being a slut because of Kim, and then M started the next track off with Haley and being like, "Go get Daddy his Oscar," and I was like, "This beef is over." Like, this beef is over.
It's over. It's over.
It's hard, I know. The challenges always go beat us home. Sometimes our parents make mistakes that affect us until we grown. And you're a good kid that need good leadership. Let me be your mentor, since your daddy don't teach you shit. Never let a man piss on your leg, son. Either you die right there or pop that man in the head, son. Never fall in the escort business, that's bad religion. Please remember, you could be a bitch even if you got bitches. Never code switch, whether right or wrong. You're a black man, even if it don't benefit your goals. Do some push-ups, get some discipline. Don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck what Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians. Get a gym membership. Understand, no throwing rocks and hiding hands, that's law. Don't be ashamed about who you with, that's how he treats your moms. Don't have a kid to hide again, be sure. 5% will comprehend, but 95 is lost. Be proud of who you are. Your strength come from within. A lot of superstars, that's real, but your daddy ain't one of them. And you nothing like him. You'll carry yourself as king. Can't understand me right now. Just play this when you 18.
You want to know that 18 part is like an offshoot of the song that Drake did?
Dear Sandra, your son got some habits. I hope you don't undermine them. It's especially with other girls that's hurt inside this climate. You're a woman, so you know how it feels to be in alignment with emotions, hoping a man can see you and not be blinded. Dear Dennis, you gave birth to a master manipulator. Even using you to prove who he is a huge favor. I think you should ask for more paper and more paper and more paper. I'm blaming you for all his gambling addictions, psychopath intuition, the man that liked to play victim. You raised a horrible fucking person. The nerve of you, Dennis. Sandra, sit down. What I'm about to say is heavy. Now listen. Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Him and Weinstein should get fucked up.
What's up?
Yo, man, if I'm in a battle with you and you write a verse to my mom's about me, like there's no other option but fists.
Yeah, there's
no more rapping.
I'm in the jet. I'm listening in the jet.
Bro, and I'm pulling up. URL ain't this bad.
That's the and the thing is, again, that lends credence to the Whitney thing about him you're gonna diss my wife. And okay, well, I'm coming after your mother, clearly, your son.
Come after what you care about, which is your mom and dad and son. So,
like, they just gotta fight. Like, I don't even want to hear them rap no more. Just fight.
We gotta pull up. I gotta pull up. Like, look, man, I'm gonna meet you at the Chinese store. Let's do this, man.
Like, literally,
you gonna get the combo.
1v1, no weapons, just hands. Just fucking throw hands.
Right. I'll be like, hey, man, I'm outside. Like, I'm sure they got your numbers. I'm outside.
I'm outside, Brody.
No cameras. No one's got to be there but y'all. Just fucking squabbling and
Brody.
Also, what's the difference? What's the difference in these two disses so far that we've heard? We've heard, man, you rapping like you rapping like you're an activist. You're not really an activist, man. Why don't you sit down? I'm gonna pass it. I just fucked you up in this rap beef, and he's like, I want you to die. I want you to die.
It's like King and Peele.
You need to be killed.
Like, person. And
I gotta say, that's a bit far too, man. Like the wishing that, like, because I mean, like, just think about how crazy things was from in my day, like when the Pocket Biggie beef was going on. People were shooting each other over that shit. And they don't even know these motherfuckers. So these little dumb motherfuckers.
I mean, he a blood
outside,
though.
like,
Kendrick's a blood though. Like Kendrick's about that shit.
That's my next point. How safe is it going to be for anybody? With all, I mean, think about like how Chicago is. Like it's a war zone outside. It's insane. So like. The whole, I mean, I get it's a battle, but I'm like the whole I wish death on you, I hope you die shit is just like
it's a little much.
I agree that it's too far, but I will say, or I should say, and I think it kind of tags along because it's kind of like this. There's a piece of this that feels like Kendrick's picking up where Push left off, and I think it was Drink Champs where they asked Push like about going too far, and Push was basically like, there is no going too far. He decided to beef with me. He kept it going. There is no too far for me.
But again, and I think Kendrick Kendrick is from gang culture, and fucking Drake is from Toronto.
Yeah. But that's the thing. But
true,
but
Jay Prince, there's the Jay Prince joint. There's the Jay Prince joint with Drake. So like
nobody cares about Jay Prince. He's an old raisin, just like he's a prop now. If he even farts, they will throw him under the jail.
But slop. Like, if you got to also think. We were talking about this before he jumped on. Like we were saying, like there are no rules. There are rules until there are no rules. Like you have to agree what the rules are.
I'm not saying he broke any rules. I'm just saying that's the part of this song.
No, but I'm saying he did. I'm saying the whole point was that Kendrick originally like in every song he said that this is supposed to, even in the last verse of this, he's gonna say that this was supposed to be a friendly beef, like with competition, kind of like Control, kind of like what we did there, you know.
But you
and
took
like
it
we
too
ever
far.
did, but the second you mentioned Whitney,
he's
lying.
That was cap though. Like that was cap because it's like,
I don't know.
Because I was just telling my boy, it's like after what happened between him and Pusha T. And the information we got, the fact that he was looking for information, but just couldn't find it on Pusha T. And that's why he reneged. But he said, oh, I don't want to be the bad guy. And then you go to this one, he jumped off the cliff for Kendrick. And again, it's like the first thing he did the same mistake, because you would think like, oh damn, I lost so bad because of the fact that maybe I should go with bars because I am a good bar spitter. But it's like, no, let me mention his wife. Cool. And then it's
that's
like, cool.
Yeah.
And Kendrick's like,
so,
oh, I
that's why I'm like, I don't understand. Like, so when the last battle ended, it was Jay Prince and other people saying it's going too far. Hasn't this gone farther than that?
I think the thing with that is, I guess to Slotfuck's point, like, you know, Jay Prince general opinions aside, he definitely doesn't have any say so in Cali. So who's gonna like stop Kendrick from escalating when Drake escalates? And so even with that, like, I would say, if these guys weren't absurdly wealthy and huge and having enough budget to actually have really good protection that matters, I would be extremely concerned. Like if they were a couple tiers smaller. If you think about like young Dolph level, right? Where Dolph's paid when he got holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's home turf though. People are saying that's what OVO XO, that's right there. That's
they're
the
having
bodyguard.
they're having local beef right now. Like
there's local issues there.
They're trying to put Kendrick in that, but I think that's just Toronto.
Kendrick's
beef.
not
that's Toronto.
Even Kendrick's DJ was like, yo, he's out of this. Like he
wanted
yeah.
Right. That's
I
was like, yeah, where y'all get
that's the
guns
thing.
from?
Like the DJ even said, like, yo, he waved the white flag, we done. We ain't doing no more. And then it's like, and then I think, well, you know, after we listen to the Heart Part 6, I'll put that part in. But oh no, it's like, because this is the thing where, let's say the line, right? A lot of people always, like, notoriously the line is like, don't say kids, right? A lot. I even been in some. Anyone got me on Facebook?
What's your guys' lines? What are your lines?
My line is my family in general. You don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about my brothers. Don't talk about my even my cousins. Family. Like, for real. Like, don't talk about my family. But a lot of people,
keep your hands to yourself. You can say whatever you want. Stand over there and bark all you want, dog.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm one of those people where I feel like there is no line. Like, just if somebody dissed me and like was like, I mean, maybe my mom, but like I feel like there usually is, like, in my opinion, like if somebody's battling with me, we should also, the understanding got to be there. Like, it's got to be, you have to know where we are, like, because I don't want to fucking diss somebody's family and then it gets fucking bad, right? But you know, I feel like there has to be that understanding. Like, okay, as long as people aren't, like, if we're playing with guns, we got to know fucking how to use a gun instead of fucking, you know, just first off, why are we playing with guns? But like, you know,
be playing with guns.
In a perfect world, that would be nice. You know what I mean? Because like in my perfect scenario of this battle, what I would have liked is them just showing who is the better artist and MC, right? But then we also got to keep in mind of the reality is like, and to me, it goes with Kendrick's point back in Euphoria is like, well, the culture that Kendrick comes from and the culture that Drake comes from is very different. Drake might not see the problem, just like he didn't see the problem before, or the severity of talking about someone's wife or someone's like kid. Even though I would say he brought up the wife first, Kendrick brought up the kids, but it's like, it's in retaliation. It's like
you take it there, I'm gonna take it to the next.
He's like, all right, we gonna go there because we're already off the cliff now.
That's why I say there's rules until there aren't. So they obviously didn't have a discussion about the rules of engagement. When Jeezy and Gucci had their verses, they said, hey man, say what you want, you say what you want, no physicality, no violence, or this thing is over.
Speaking of that,
you know,
Jeezy had the toast on him. I know, I know when why you think he ain't sit down the whole time?
And he kept telling him, sit down, and he would not sit. So
Jeezy
I
had
feel
the
like
roaster.
That happens at URL battles. That happened. I think, who was it? Armada, or who was it? Who was like, it was Armada or somebody who was in the middle of the battle, in the middle of the other guy's verse. Like, he said, like, you don't have a piece on you, and then this guy pulled up his piece, and then somebody else like showed his piece, and they almost fucking got to.
Oh God!
Pull,
See, that's like
crazy.
That should not be going down.
Yeah.
That's where it's too far. Hey, Penny the Great, what's good? Penny's here.
Hey,
what's up, Penny?
Trouble just showed up.
Yo, Penny. All right, I gotta ask you then.
What's up?
What is your limits? If you in a rap battle, what is off limits? What can somebody not say to you that would turn this to take this off wax? What should they never say?
I'm gonna tell you like this: there is no limits, because I ain't gonna have no limits if me and you going at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in a rap battle with somebody, this is a fucking fight. This isn't no, like, this is what pisses me off about these.
I already know this dude is from New York. I already know. My dude is from New York. Like, that's how you know. That's how you know. Like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah.
Absolutely. Look. This is the thing. When it comes to battle raps and shit, what I don't like is like like when you start like giving the other dudes props in the battle, to me, you start losing. This shit should be just straight cutthroat. Like Drake's last response, every one of his lines seemed like he was responding to everything Kendrick was saying. He's like, no, I didn't do that. I did this. I didn't do that. I did this. I didn't do that.
We talked about that. He's on the defensive, which to me means you lost.
That's a white flag right there.
When you're backing up, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, but yet you fed him. You supposedly fed him the info to make him think you're a predator or that you lost.
This man made a song about why he's not a pedophile.
And then you say, "Well, I didn't do it though." But like, I made you believe it. Ha! And it's like,
also, that's the worst strategy. Like, we're midway through the meet the grams. Like, bro, that's the worst strategy ever. If you've done 4 battles at this point, you know that the way time works is that people's attention starts to wane after a while if you don't immediately respond. So you're telling me you planted info, you let the release schedule happen, so recency bias, grams is going to come out ahead of time, right? And then Kendrick drops it. So you're just going to let that marinate with the public for 2 days and not tell them? And then you're not even going to produce proof that you fucking...
He should have put out, like I said, he should have put this one, he should have did a video wearing the t-shirt, wearing the glove, holding the receipt, holding the Ozempic bottle.
That's what I'm saying.
Got you. You know,
because at this point we're all lying. Like at this point, 100%, I know like the daughter could be a lie. I'm in the whole beef. I'm like, half of this is lies. It's just mischaracterizations. I'm 100%. I'm 100% on board. But the second you say that, like somebody that you planted. Like you pulled like a fucking Naruto like substitution jutsu for fucking grabbing information. I'm like, okay, that's really like.
Come on, how am I supposed to believe that?
I have to stretch to believe that like a little bit more. Everything else is believable. Like I have to stretch to believe that. That I need to see you finessing it, and you're just like, I have to leave. This is ridiculous. You've burnt out this battle. My pen is like,
go ahead and do like 3 more tracks.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, you asked for it, and now you burnt it out. Okay.
On top of that, I think and I totally agree with you, Zed. On top of that, I would say the thing in here where Kendrick made a point to say, Adonis, you're a black man. One, is funny, but 2, I think makes me think that I think it kind of verifies that he probably has insiders, because it makes you think that he heard Family Matters before it came out, or at least parts of
he heard it.
Because that seems like a very intentional rebuttal to the idea that he's saying Drake is not racially black, but that he is appropriating his blackness. Like that seems like a very intentional thing that he put in there in the Adonis part of this song, and the fact that he dropped it right after Family Ties.
Yeah,
and that's not a flex.
Entitled it so closely too, because it's like, oh, it's called Family Matters, and it's like called Meet the Grams. It's like, yo, what? And then I think it was this verse he referenced the same drug that Drake mentioned in Family Matters.
They both say Ozempic, so it's like, all right, things are happening. Came out.
And then, sorry, I don't want to talk too much, but I'm saying like also, but that's the kind of the point. Like, if you leak this info, like if you didn't leak the info, that's an L. If you did leak the info, that's also an L.
You weren't
because
prepared.
It means that because you didn't leak it correct. Like you fucked your own tract. Like you leaked it. You leaked the track. Like I go, yo, listen. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leak all this fake info. Also, I'm gonna show him the song that I spent a shit ton of money buying a van for, and then he's gonna destroy that. And wait a minute. And then 4 days later,
the van wasn't a lot of money.
The van's not a lot of money, but towing the van, getting a compound, crushing the van down, and then getting somebody's uncle who works in a random woodshed to come out and nod heads with you. I'm sure that costs money.
With the red
camera time.
Fucked up in the cell for the rest they laugh. He hates black women, hypersexualize them with kinks of an info fetish. Grew facial hair because he understood being the beard just fit him better. He got sex offenders on Hovio that he keep on a monthly allowance. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there's predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle, he should die so all of these women can live with a purpose. I've been in this industry 12 years, I'ma tell y'all one little secret. It's some weird shit going on and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of their home and calling them tender. Then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. To any woman that be playing this music, know that you're playing your sister. Or better yet, selling your niece. To the weirdos, not the good ones. Cat Williams, I gave you the truth, so I'ma get mines. The embassy about to get raided too, it's only a matter of time. Hey, Lil Bron, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away. To anybody that embody the love for their kids, keep the family away. They looking at you too, if you standing by him. Keep the family away. I'm looking to shoot through any pervert that lives. Keep the family safe.
I didn't think it could go any further than that, and then we get this.
And then this.
We get the kill shot here, which could be a lie. Could probably, I would say, could be a lie. But
I think the kill shot is that we're not like it's 100% like everybody. It's believable.
Yeah,
the kill shot is it's believable.
Dear baby girl, I'm sorry that your father not active inside your world. He don't commit to much, but it's music, yeah, that's for sure. He a narcissist, misogynist, living inside his songs. Try to destroy families rather than taking care of his own. She'll be teaching you timetables or watching Frozen with you. Or at your 11th birthday, singing poems with you. Instead, he being Turks, paying for sex and popping perks, examples that you don't deserve. I want to tell you that you're loved, you're brave, you're kind. You got a gift to change the world and can change your father's mind. Cause our children is the future, but he lives inside confusion. Money's always been illusion, but that's the life he's used to. His father probably didn't claim him neither. History do repeats itself, sometimes it don't need a reason. But I would like to say it's not your fault that he's hiding another child. Give him grace, this the reason I made Mr. Morale. So our babies like you can cope later. Give you some confidence to go through something, it's hope later. I never want to hear you chasing men cause it's felt behavior. Sitting in the club with sugar daddies for validation. You need to know that love is eternity and trumps all pain. I tell you who your father is, just play this song when it rains. Yes, he's a hit maker, songwriter, superstar, right? And a fucking dead beat that should never say more life. Meet the Grams.
That's some old Kendrick shit. Meet the Grams.
Dear Hobby, I know you probably thinking I wanted to crash your party, but truthfully I don't have a hating bone in my body. It's supposed to be a good exhibition within the game, but you fucked up the moment you called out my family's name. Why you had to stoop so low to discredit some decent people? Guess integrity is lost when the metaphors doesn't reach you. And I like to understand cause your house was never a home. 37 but you showing up as a 7-year-old. You got gambling problems, drinking problems, pill popping and spending problems. Bad with money, whorehouse, soliciting women problems. Therapy's a lovely start, but I suggest some ayahuasca. Strip the ego from the bottom. I try to empathize with you, cause I know that you ain't been through nothing. Crave entitlement, but wanna be like so bad that it's puzzling. No dominance, let's recap moments when you didn't fit in. No secret handshakes with your friend, no culture cachet to binge. Just disrespecting your mother, identities on the fence. Don't know which family would love you. The skin that you living in is compromised and personas can't channel your masculine. Even when standing next to a woman, you a body shamer. You go hide them baby mamas, ain't you? You embarrassed of them, that's not right, that ain't how mama raised us. Take that mask off, I wanna see what's under them achievements. Why believe you? You never gave us nothing to believe in, cause you lied about religious views. You lied about your surgery.
This is when he reaches for the soul. Yeah.
Your past tense, all is perjury. You lied about your ghost riders. You lied about your crew members. They all pussy. You lied on them. I know they all got you in them. You lied about your son. You lied about your daughter, huh? You lied about them other kids that's out there hoping that you come. You lied about the only artist that can offer you some help. Fuck a rap battle. This a long life battle with yourself.
Personally, that last verse to me was more of a kill. Was the kill shot? Because honestly, it's like a lot of stuff that he said in this last verse is like, all right, this is the actual facts that we do have. Because a lot of people, and I know I don't like hinge on the opinions online, but during the conversations I could have outside of here, which bless you guys for even being here to have this type. Is that, oh Mel, we can't prove things on either side. I'm like, no, he did get pissed on, he did get smacked, he did have a history of dealing with younger women. That is
there's a lot of proof.
He was disrespectful to his mom. He was disrespectful. He has
a lot of.
He lied. He did lie about the ghostwriters for a while.
They got caught.
Yeah.
Yep.
Recently too. That's the other part.
Yeah.
It's
when I was who wrote all of this. I want to see the credits for all of this.
For Kendrick's,
right?
All of it, but Drake and Kendrick.
For Drake, I would like to see.
Because
there's been some rumors that have been debunked on both sides. Drake says some stuff about Baby Keem when Keem put his pen to it. That's what is better or whatever. And even I think Grayson, you mentioned it that Euphoria had them, N95 vibes, had them Family Ties vibes a little bit, and those are records that Keem was a part of. Or I don't know. I think that might have got debunked. They were saying Keem or one of them had a reference track out there with N95, but I think that got debunked. It was not real.
That got debunked. It was a different verse on that N95 track. So
Josh, we did talk about the shooting already.
Yes, so I want to clear up. It's not in any way related, or at least I don't think so. It seems to be Toronto.
It's not. It's Toronto.
OVO, XO stuff that's going on.
Hey, Drake paid somebody to shoot up his house to get street cred. That's what he did. He's like, hey, yo, we all gonna not be in the house. You gonna take a shot in the leg? I'm gonna hit you off so that way the street cred.
They got him in the chest, didn't they?
No, he got
they hit the vein
somewhere. He got a vein.
No, he got shot in the chest.
Yeah,
he got shot in the chest.
Was he
and supposedly
he had a vest, I think.
Supposedly it was a retaliation too, because somebody shot up whatever his name is from XO side Burst.
Oh.
So this is a response.
Guns in Canada sound like a lot.
So wait,
it sounds crazy. Yeah, you can
XO is what's his name?
Let me say this real quick before we move on. Yeah. I think Meet the Grams highlights the thing that bothers me the most about this situation. It's that people are I see a lot of people treating this like a moral high ground situation either way, and it's not. These people do not like one another, and there's a lot of complicity on a lot of stuff across the board. We're seeing that with Metro Boomin getting the receipts dug up on him right now. We're in the upper echelon of any industry that makes a lot of money. There's a lot of baggage and a lot of dirt, and I think it's really important that people understand that, yes, the pedophilia allegations are way worse than, you put your hands on your wife one time and maybe she has a kid that's not yours. But it's still not, this shouldn't be about a moral high ground situation as much as it's just a rap beef. And I wish and that's mostly people who are coming. I think this is the first rap beef they've seen. They came from the pop side. And that's also the most beautiful thing about it is that people who came in from the pop side are seeing this elite competitive lyricism that they never would have seen otherwise at a globally relevant level. So it's two sides of the same coin, but I really think that's the biggest problem in this, because these are serious allegations, right?
Yeah.
This is stuff that if anybody finds any teeth to it, it ruins everything for multiple people. Mm-hmm. And that could be internalized a little bit more in this situation, I think.
But something that Rand said that we were in conversation, one thing, and speaking about that, something that Drake did that I thought was kind of corny was him saying, I'm too rich to be petty. If I was a pedophile, y'all would know. That's stupid.
That's the next track, though.
Are we doing Not Like Us?
Oh, we got to do Not Like Us.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's Meet the Grams drop, and then it's oh man, Michael Myers in the house, and then Michael Myers starts doing the W.
Dude, right? My favorite was literally right after this record drop. Everyone was like, "Oh, this is boring. This is boring." He's like, and Kendrick's probably in his house, lights off. A word.
One thing I liked about what Kendrick did. One thing I liked about what Kendrick did is the last joint. He sounded very West Coast. The beat was very, very West Coast, and I feel like that was a move to try to pit the whole West Coast against Drake. You know what I'm saying?
It's also a reference because Drake compared him to Jake said YG's a real set, runs a real set. And he's like, all right, I'll use YG's producer.
So then he goes gets Mustard. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
The other side of that too is I think it shows that Kendrick has an authentic sound that is from his thing. He has a West Coast sound that he can lean on. Drake doesn't have a sound. Drake is that he's demonstrating in action that Drake is a vulture.
And he said that too. Kendrick was like, at the end of that last joint, he basically said everybody's name that he needed to get. He was like, if you needed clout, you went to this person. You wanted the clubs, you went to this person. You wanted street cred, you went to this person. And that's the difference between Kendrick and Drake. Drake, a lot of street dudes got around Drake after he became Drake. Kendrick is from Compton. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's from Compton.
Well, that's what I said earlier, Penny, that Kendrick's from gang culture. Drake is from Toronto. Gang culture.
He is from West Compton. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't even know if he's from Toronto. He might be from bumfuck.
But Toronto, the thing is too, it's like Toronto has gang culture as we're seeing with the shots fired. But the thing is, like, rep that.
Rep that. That's true. Somebody made a really good point. Drake's been on top for I don't know 10, 12 years.
15 years.
And we know more from him. We know more about life in Houston than we do about life in Toronto.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, he's never represented that side of his culture. He talks about it in interviews, but he's never repped that.
He talks about Atlanta, he talks about Houston, he talks about Miami, all these cities a lot in all of his records, but we don't really hear the Toronto story. You know,
wasn't Views about Toronto? Was Views about Toronto?
Supposedly, but I don't think so.
I think Views
that record sucked, but
it wasn't good.
Chasing on that whole thing by getting other people from like the grime scene. People from,
he would go to London, Skepta and all them, and he hasn't even been seen with all these people. He'll
he'll take some sauce accent in Canada.
Yeah, he'll take some sauce from this person, that person, and then go about his business.
What's that meme?
He be getting the Infinity Gems from different cultures.
Infinity Gems. Yo.
What's that meme of Drake in like it's like, yo, what style are you gonna use? And it's Drake with the Sharingan going.
Yeah, the Kakashi
style.
He says my style.
All right, so here we go. Though, shoot, hold on.
What about Good Kid, Mad City? Good Kid, Mad City is all about Compton. Like Good Kid, Mad City, the whole thing is about Compton.
Exactly. Rock asked a good question. What was that?
Is there like honestly like are we here? Are we expecting more responses?
No, I think it's over. But
they both came out and said it's over. Like the Kendrick's DJ was like, it's over. Like, he heard the last track and apparently Kendrick was like, that's a white flag. I'm not responding to that.
Like,
he didn't say anything.
But I think it's over.
He doesn't need to. He's not supposed. He's trying not to.
Because this song,
I don't have an opinion on this.
I think this is the perfect ending because he made a song that is going to bring through the summer at this point.
He out-Drake Drake. He out-Drake Drake.
Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, Nella nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? They in the street can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton.
We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it.
Okay.
So people are missing how heavy that John Stockton bar is.
Yeah, John Stockton
like,
is so good.
Who did John Stockton pass to?
Monstrous.
The mailman, motherfucking pedophile.
The king of
like
another motherfucker I've been kid.
This is a bar I've seen people. This is the monster bar I think I've seen people spend the least amount of time on like TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, it's just and then over people's heads real quick. It's like, oh, that's a little assist bar. Okay,
hold on, explain it to me, please, because I missed it.
So John Stockton has the most assists in NBA history, as you may know. Yeah. So like the pass the body thing, that's the obvious thing. But the other thing is John Stockton was passing to Karl Malone, who impregnated a 13-year-old while he was right. So
I know about the Karl Malone debacle.
Right. So it's a massive double. So it's low key play. This whole thing is like he's referencing stuff that Larry says. The other layer on that is the Bulls beat Karl Malone and John Stockton, the Jazz, in the NBA Finals twice in a row. Right. So he's referencing the back-to-back concept. So it's like a triple.
Oh my God!
That people just glossed over.
He went, it's a good one. It's a good one.
That's the thing about Kendrick. Kendrick always has like double meanings in a lot of his bars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's
crazy.
That's
you better just have a quadruple entendre, boy. Well,
dude had a quadruple entendre.
He said
with
you
a
gotta
title
hit me with a quadruple, and he did.
with a title alone, because 616 title alone was so many things, and it's like Tupac's birthday, the OJ trial, the burial
Father's Day. It was
Father's Day in Canada and America. 3 different meanings in the Bible. It's just all like it's like that's why if in any conversation prior, when it was like, yo, who you think is gonna go if it's like a bar for bar, I'm like, I'm always gonna go with Kendrick, because I feel like the way Kendrick be thinking and how he writes, it's like, yo, nah, this man be having some meanings. Like, we'll catch the double, and then years later we figure out something out. It's like, you know, man, I'm not a sports guy. I didn't know John Stockton. I know he passed, but it's like, all right, Karl Malone did what?
I got them instantly. I got that. I absorbed The Last Dance into my bones when I saw that shit. And the other thing I was gonna say, the other thing I was gonna say is like, bro, like this entire beef is just the scene from you know that scene in The Dark Knight where it's like John Daggett coming in and he's just like all like, you know, get somebody in here, like I'm in charge, and then Bane puts his hand on him. He's like, do you feel in charge?
Right. Because I'm sure when they finish each one of these songs, once they hit upload, they're like, it's over. We got him.
We got him.
And then it's like, oh no, we ain't got him.
Drake tried to strip club Kendrick. He tried to make something that was going to sound catchy in the clubs, like he did with with Meek Mill. But they ain't work this time because like the culture is really
Meek wasn't ready. Meek was not ready.
The culture
is Drake throwing rocks, Kung Fu Kenny throwing MK combos. Yeah, Kung Fu Kenny has a full punish combo in the corner that leads to Super and then Dark Phoenix. That's what Kenny's doing right now.
This is God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pole on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. Dad, fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
Bro, they gonna be singing that all summer.
All
summer.
Bro, it was on NBA on TNT.
Yeah, that's the rest of the year, bro.
When the Wolves won?
It's the rest of the year.
Don't arena, and your homeboy needs a subpoena. That predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me, and I'ma send it out the box. Put the wrong label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music, and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Ay, devil is a lie. Here's 69 God. Ay, freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Ay, roll their ass up like a fresh pack of Zod. Ay, city is back up, it's a must, we outside. Ay.
Blame.
They not like us. 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 Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you, this the real nigga challenge. You caught Future when you didn't see the club. Ay, what, little baby help you get your lingo up. What, 21 get your first street cred. Thug make you feel like you a slime in your head. Ay, what, Quavo said you can be from Northside. What, 2 Chainz say you good but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer. The family matter had the truth for the matter. Here was God's plan to show y'all the liar. He a
Real
fan,
quick,
he a fan, he a fan.
Ran, I know we gotta do this outro, but like, man, people for years, for decades, there's 2 diss tracks that maybe 3 that stand up as the pinnacle of legendary diss tracks. Back to back entered the pantheon as in like a top 5 thing, but like there's 3 that stand above as like legendary industry shifting ones. No Vaseline, Ether, and then it's between Ether and Hit 'Em Up. that are like the biggest ones. And
Honorable
everybody, there's so many.
Mention goes to T-shirt and buttons by Lil B.
Fuck yeah,
That's a great one.
yeah.
Yo,
but I'm saying,
hey, another honorable mention. DJ Quick versus MC8. That shit was crazy.
Oh, that's fire.
Oh, that was crazy.
But I'm saying, how long has the West Coast been like, yo, we got it. Like, if we go, it's got to be hit 'em up. That's the standard.
Hey,
this
you know
is
what? In retrospect,
on that level.
In retrospect, now that I think about it, West Coast, they got the best battle tracks. If you
Look what Lil B did to Joe Budden.
And hit him up.
I think the West Coast,
niggas, man,
they got it, man. They got it.
They got the battle tracks.
And that's funny because we don't think about it that way. We're like, oh man, East Coast is the lyricism, blah blah blah, bro.
I don't know, man. Like, Detroit's pretty fucking good. Detroit's got some fucking heaters, bro. I've seen Detroit kill. For Eminem destroyed a magazine.
Real battle rap.
Royce
destroyed the entire.
Royce's joint is crazy. Malcolm X. There's so much.
Bro,
man.
Hey, bro, 300 bars by the game. That shit was crazy, yo.
About
that shit. That whole beef with 50 and
that's what.
game.
Yeah, bro, and you mentioned that, Zed. You mentioned that too. How in was it Family Matters? Drake was trying to shout out real gangsters. He said, "Oh, YG," and then he said, "Chuck T." Talk about the game. He was trying to get the West Coast on his side, and it's like, nah, bro. Like, this is how we ride. We're
West
over here.
Coast. Well, yeah, like you're Toronto, like LA. In every club in LA, like, dude, I know so many fucking people who went out in LA like that night, literally just to hear that song. Like, bro, somebody tried.
I've heard it twice outside already. I was at swim class with my kid, and somebody pulled up.
Dude, kids in class are hearing that. There's TikToks online of elementary school like people going in and just being like, "Hey, I'm just gonna mention a name, and you tell me if they won." All right. Drake, and everybody's silent, and then Kendrick, and these kids go fucking nuts. Wow. And there was one teacher who was like suicided with Drake, and his kids were yelling at him for like 5. It's crazy.
Like YG and the game are not ever going to go against Compton. That's just never going to happen. That's what Drake don't realize that shit, bro. Them motherfuckers are never going to go against Compton no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Plus Suge Knight earlier, I think Suge Knight before this drop, he like, I guess someone interviewed him and he said like, yo, like, he's like, don't get it twisted. Like, yeah, Drake was out here, but like, if Kendrick wanted to shoot the fade, we'd stop the shoot and let them shoot the fade.
No, it was Whack. It was Whack 100 that said that shit.
Whack said that.
And if Kendrick wanted to pull up, that would have been it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're not gonna ever go against Compton, bro.
Not doing it.
You know what I'm saying?
I was on a podcast with somebody, and they were like, because I brought up, they were talking about Drake. It was you guys know Oleami? She pretty much handed Eric Adams his lunch the other day. But yeah, she bodied him on the Breakfast Club. But I was on her podcast and like I was a guest. Yeah, I was a guest in like, Black Space. I'm trying to be quiet, but they were talking about Drake and him appropriating other American hip hop cultures like Atlanta and LA. I was like, yo, in LA, there was literally a point where he did a song with the game where he 100% was hanging out with Bloods, trying to act like he's part of that
black and gray. I love that. That's the 100 music video. It's 100.
Yeah. I love that video. I love that video. But dude, Drake makes hits. Drake is fucking dope. But like at the same time, like I was like, yo, that does make sense. He's pulled up. He pulled up New York style. He pulled up LA style. I'm cool with you showing love to styles, right? But I think Kendrick's point that he's making is that, dude, like, don't come to Compton and talk about this lifestyle, because Kendrick's whole life is talking about how this lifestyle, he's trying to get rid of this hate and this problem in this fucking area. Like that's destroyed his culture. Like he's part of that culture, and he's trying to, like, that's literally the subject of every record he's done, is that like, bro, like I'm from this life.
He's from it, but he's trying to not necessarily escape it, but trying to like do better. Like trying to show
the culture.
This is the culture
situation.
He's trying to show the other side.
Because I could understand the perspective of, imagine a visitor coming into the culture that you're trying to help and fix.
Yeah.
And not only does this guy, like, he gets the love and he's showing the spotlight to certain artists, which is cool. But then it's like, you're actually glorifying the very thing that I'm trying to like fix. You know what I mean? Because the thing about it is that a lot of things in any culture that he used the shotgun for, it's most times a negative connotation of it. You know what I mean?
My whole thing with Drake is, it come from a fucking Disney show, man. Like that's where it all starts. If you look at videos, back in the day.
It was on Noggin. It was a
whatever.
Yeah, tomato. But yeah,
it might as well be from the fucking Mickey Mouse.
Might as well.
It's the same difference.
Might as well.
And
there's old videos. Like I remember listening they're talking about how like people in the hood use different slangs and jargon. And
remember the first
kids
video
around
when
them,
you hear him say nigga,
they're
and he's like, "Oh, these niggas."
Right, it's weird.
Yeah, he said the hard
puts
R.
the hard R on it. Like, bro.
In the
He
black
just says
he had to learn.
They're eating dinner, and he's like, they're like, man, it's kind of cool when you throw a little swing on it. He's like, nah, it's ignorant. That's what it is. It's ignorant. And like they're like, wow, like really? That's how you feel? Like,
yeah, he's like,
and to go from that to
look how Mans came up. He is not the dude that we looking at today.
Yeah. And on a different note, in 100, this is Kendrick while there.
Yeah.
In that verse, he says, I be in the club when they play the competition. This is one of my favorite Drake verses ever, by the way. I think he went absolutely bananas on this verse bar-wise and sounded like he didn't care. But he says, I be in the club when they play the competition, if they even play the competition, and I see the response they get. And that was a Kendrick sub.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because that was around the same time, because everybody was louding.
Some conscious shit. That's what he said on there.
Right. He said, I'd have all your fans if I
stayed on some yeah. Bro, that was a sub to Kendrick, that whole verse.
But it's definitely a sub.
Bro, did you see the control? Sorry,
no, go ahead.
No, did you see the control interview he did? Sorry, Penny.
If y'all still on here in about a half an hour, I'm gonna tap back in, but I gotta go handle some business real quick.
All right,
cool,
bro.
man.
I'll holler
All
at you.
right, cool, man.
Don't diss nobody.
All right, Penny.
Yeah.
Don't diss nobody.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see the control interview that Drake did? Like, cause I just retweeted that, and it was basically him being like, "Yeah, man. Like, I love that. Like, it's great, Kenny's. It's all love, But like, do you remember that verse? He was throwing such side-eyed shots in that talk, and I remember like,
about control. And apparently,
and
he shut that interview down. Like, he didn't want that to get out.
His people, he didn't shut it down. His people did.
His people shut it down.
According, because Complex did a write up about it, and there was like they mentioned in an interview that his people buried when they heard about it, and eventually came back out. But I don't think Drake buried it. I think his people buried it.
His people buried it because honestly, that's a fucking like. Because then I never heard that interview, and then after hearing that and hearing the BET cipher, I'm like, okay. Like this like
because
if I would have heard that interview, if I'm Kendrick, if somebody did that to me, went into the press and was just like all like, man, what a great verse, but I mean like it kind of made me lose respect for you that you were like nice to me after that, like if you're about it to be about, I would have been like, it lost respect for you. Oh, you want this fucking smoke then?
That's
okay,
and that's the one thing Kanye said about Drake, which is it seems to be kind of turning true, is that Drake takes shots behind the closed door.
He does.
He reaches under the table and hits you, so you don't see it. But when you respond, you look crazy.
And hide your hand, shit.
You look wild because he's doing it. He's talking to people backstage. He's talking to people high up in the industry and making moves that you don't see happening. Like, I don't know if it's true, but that letter about that cease and desist for like that. Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how true that is. Like,
it's
how
like,
could he stop it?
When there's that much power in the music industry, like
he could stop a record.
It's like on where at least in one of the heavy points of where Kendrick, if Kendrick got him with a headshot, is the fact of that if you strip away Drake and you got him as Aubrey Graham, it's like Aubrey Graham is a person like. Got like a weak spirit because he uses his power and influence throughout time to do and get away with a lot of corny ish. And the saving grace of it is that he made hits and him and his team can manipulate the timeline. Because like now, like things like people were saying, oh, but we heard this before. It's like, yeah, but now you're hearing it again, and now everyone's looking. It's like, oh yeah. Oh, he's not a pedophile. He's like, well, he did kiss that girl on stage back in the day, and now she's 31, and she was 17 back then. It's like, oh, he did get pissed on. Oh, wait, he did steal that. He did bite that a few dudes' flows and bars in these songs. Oh, he did have a ghostwriter. Oh, he did. It's more and more like.
We got a lot of that. Rocky, what up?
Because it's someone that's like in the same platform as Drake. It's one of the so-called big three. respect to people's creative output, but not a lot of people are on the same level. Like your Nana doesn't know who a lot of these rappers who've been calling these individuals out, but it's someone who's considered to be a peer who's saying it. So, it hits different.
Elon Musk commented on this battle on Twitter. That's how mainstream this shit is. This
Once I saw that, I was like, okay, it's over. It's over for real.
It's done.
He tagged academics and was like, this is a great battle. It's like, what? Get out of here. Like,
bro stepped in like Steve Buscemi. He stepped in like Steve Buscemi at the locker. Like, hey, kids.
How you doing, fellow kids? Rap battles, am I right?
I gotta say, one of my favorite things is looking at that academic stream and looking at fucking. But that was my favorite. Like, that's one clip that I think is really interesting. Like, I don't like Budden all that much, but watching the Budden podcast of academics and like right afterwards, and also watching DJ Head talk to academics, like him go like DJ Head's like, it's over. He's like, academics like, no, I think Drake can respond. You wouldn't change your mind. It's like, listen, man, like, who'd you have up before this record? Kendrick. Who'd you have up after Hard Part 6? He's like, Kendrick. I'm like, what else is there to say?
All right, then.
Like, that's it. You took a shot and you lost. The first person to take a shot.
I'm gonna play the white flag, and because honestly, I feel like it's over. When you got to spin the whole record backpedaling, and then do a 30-second talk at the end, you kind of lost.
We're about to go.
There we go.
All right.
All right, guys.
The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork of the cabinet is filed in? 1090 Jake would've took all the walls down. The streets would've had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones that you getting your stories from, they all clowns. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with the desperation. We plotted for a week and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or a destination, but you so thirsty, you not concerned with investigation. Instead, you in that Venice studio, it's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you use, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bid on a speculation. You dumb and reactive, nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? Why is she following Dave Free and not Mr. Morale? You haven't seen the kids in 6 months, the distance is wild. Dave leaving heart emojis underneath pics of the child. Speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. This Epstein angle was the shit I expected.
Yo, I expected you to compare me to Epstein,
the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, dude.
Wait. This is an L, bro.
No. I'm sorry. Hold on. This nigga is on the same internet that we're on. Okay. Wait. He's on the same internet.
Wait.
For this motherfucker at all. He's on the same internet. He sees the same jokes and the kind of obtuse aspect of like people's analysis, like, oh, why did he mention Millie Bobby Brown? Because he's combing through memes. The nigga been doing that shit for 2 years. Like,
hold up.
Remember how I said he's gonna take whose style am I gonna use? Your style. He was like, "What's up, Twitter? Your style." He used the Sharingan.
His whole thing is written all through every meme and joke that all the stains that were defended and said. Not only that, because I thought he was gonna pause. But because it's like the first part of at least the first verse, man said, "Yo, whoever feeding you information is a clown."
Wow.
2 seconds later,
I fed you the information.
I fed you. It was me the whole time.
I'm a clown. The thing I hate the most, which is ironic given the Richard Pryor flip from the beginning of Euphoria, but I hate this. Because it makes me feel icky, but also because without the contradictions, like Drake's rapping on this. I'm like, I love the tone, the cadence, the delivery. I'm like, man, this man is rapping, but it doesn't make any sense, and it bothers me so much.
He clearly has like there's no like he's putting these records out too fast that he's not even going back. He didn't even review this.
Does Drake have more money than Epstein? Whose net worth is more?
I mean, Epstein was definitely more.
I think Epstein was a billionaire.
Drake is going, I am a pedophile, seasoned in decorations, medals in preparation. Like, what the fuck?
What?
Like, I know everything you're about to say against me.
And then it's like, hey, we about to give her a name and a location. I'm like, why didn't you put that as the cover photo?
Why? By the way, that's the only bar. That's the only bar. By the way, we told you that. Okay, let's not mention anything else. Like that's like you told us the most pedestrian.
Told you that was a sucker, and then he said it was me.
I'm the sucker.
TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit.
Pause. One more thing. I like how his undermining of the information is like it was on TikTok. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, this video
on TikTok.
This TikTok video footage. As soon as you put it on TikTok,
he tried that on TaylorMade. He's like, oh, they said it in the Joe Budden podcast. It must be true. Like, so he tries.
But that hits hard because Joe Budden's a pundit. TikTok is like, that's actual footage. That's not hearsay. It's footage.
Yo, that's funny.
It's actual video.
It's not a deep fake, dog. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's the thing about
keep it together.
That's the thing about it is like even as he's defending himself, it's just like it's a very bad defense because it's like
it's a horrible defense.
It's like because it's like
he has 6 ghostwriters and they didn't talk to each other.
Yeah,
and they were just like, "Yo, I'm about to kill this," and it's like,
and that's why
like the writers of the DC
I thought you were
movie.
saying that that some clown planted this. Oh wait, I'm the clown. Oh wait,
I gotta say something at the end of in his little like State of the Union speech after this fucking dog shit verse ends.
Oh my God!
That's where it ended. That's where I was like, okay, fade this out. We're done. All right, let's get there.
And then the bar that bothered me is like, you could have been on some diss direction. I'm like, the first shot was direct. I'm like, Kendrick only shot at you. You the one that be shooting at everyone else in the middle of this battle.
Right.
Like, oh yeah.
If only you were focused. By the way, fuck Rick Ross. Where the fuck is Rick?
Yo, this man is 50 years old, bro.
Right. And another thing, what'd you say, Rick Ross? What'd you say, Rick Ross? You like
my favorite. Speaking of TikTok, my favorite TikTok was this thing like where he's like Drake, we gotta address these allegations. I know, man. I don't have a daughter.
Oh no,
Drake,
I know what you're talking about.
He called you a pedophile and he said you had a daughter.
The color of the
I don't have a daughter.
Oh my God, that was killing me.
Okay, this one here, this is where he missed clearly.
Oh my God.
A powerful song at that, and just skimmed it and totally missed this. Totally missed.
I was like, mother eye. Wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me. I just made the whole connection. This about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with is so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't wanna dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why that's the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested.
I promise they would have got me because they always.
Wait. Can we go back though? Like you can't make fun of people for being sexual assault victims.
Yeah, how about the whole like
that part?
You got molested.
Yo, like that's
literally no, you right. No, listen, you right, Rocky. He literally said you got molested. That's why you're calling me a pedophile.
Because you would know.
Yeah, wouldn't he know that?
That
wouldn't
is
he
wild.
understand?
It's not
wild.
your defense.
I mean, if you want to really have that,
someone
you want to have that 5-minute conversation.
If I'm a liar, why aren't my pants on fire? What about that?
The whole track should be called "Nuh-uh."
Mate.
Yo, he should have called it "Nuh-uh."
Like no,
Nuh-uh. The heart part 6.
Now he should have said, "I know you are, but what am I?"
Yeah. Sabaj Savage called that on Twitter. He literally went after Meet the Graham. Sabaj Savage said Drake's response is going to be "nuh-uh." And I was like a whole.
No, because
if he had put this out like immediately after Kendrick put his shit out like on Friday, he would have had a better chance. But we still would have flamed him for making fun of sexual assault victims, bro.
Yeah, bro.
This is not it.
Because then that adds into the fact of like that he don't really respect women and all that too. Because it's like, bro, like you.
I mean, neither of them do.
I'm way too.
I mean, let's keep
so bad. Hold on. It was his shit was so bad that people just stopped asking Kendrick about his DV allegations and shit. That's how bad this went.
They're like, but this dude.
But what I will say on that, all right, we'll finish this one. I'll speak.
All right, let's famous for the shit you just suggested, but that's not the lesson. Clearly, there's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got her pregnant. Talk about breeding resentment. Not sure how to ease the sentiment. The shit's too intimate. I'm praying you recover from both incidents. But you a piece of shit, so this shit really no coincidence. Drake is not a name that you gon' see on no sex offender list. Easy does it. You mentioned an A minor, but niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D made.
Okay, we talked about this in the beginning, but
who the fuck would write this? Who would do this,
bro? You won't see Drake, you know, you're right, Drake. We're not gonna. Your friend is the one that's on the sex offender list. Like, how about your boy?
Well, Drake isn't. Drake wouldn't be on the sex offender list. Aubrey Graham would.
Aubrey Graham
listen,
would be on.
Listen to me clearly. Listen to me clearly.
So bad.
Yes, of course, those are bad. But I think the most damning thing, A minor to B. Who the fuck are you? Like, what am I? Is this Fisher Price my first rap battle?
No,
what the fuck is this?
He's that dude Frack from
Does
Twitter
that even work?
Somebody should have.
No, it's C minor to B
bad.
Whatever. Does that work?
It's C.
You thought you left D
sharp
flat,
is C.
major?
It wouldn't happen. Yeah, it's C.
Wait, what's the ball? What is he saying with you thought you left D flat, E major? Oh, you left Drake flat, E.
Musically, does that make sense? I can't read music.
No,
I can't.
Is he trying to construct the bar? C, A minor, C.
Try to mention A minor.
A minor is C. A minor is the relative key of C.
A minor, C. Yeah.
So it's more of an unintentional confirmation of the A minor bar is what he just did there. Because C major is the same note as A minor.
No, but what's E major? What's the E major in there? I don't understand the E major.
I don't get the E major thing.
That line.
It's probably whoever friend his name is E. Like that's the only thing I can connect with.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that Andres Escobar on goal joint with Colombia?
Major. Oh, he's also okay. So here's genius. And this is funny. Homeboy Sandman told me he hates genius because it makes dumb people look smart and smart people look dumb. And I couldn't agree more. So there on Genius, a couple of annotations say he says D flat, D major, not E major. And apparently they maybe wrote that wrong, but I don't know. D major is a triple entendre. D, Drake is continuing to use his pitch scale wordplay in retaliation to A minor from Not Like Us. Drake recites the line to sound like he's also saying D made ya, claiming that Kendrick's success is due to Drake helping him by putting him on tour in 2012. Drake could also be talking about people thinking that his penis is flaccid in response to the diss, but it's actually erect.
Hey, yo.
I actually thought that was
real quickly. Clearly, Drake haters are writing this because nobody would. Somebody was just talking shit. Just like, like he read the first. He was like, yeah, or maybe he thinks his dick is small. Like, what the fuck?
So next, in Family Matters, he said something about when he said, "Fuck the big three, it's only big D." And there's video proof.
Proof.
He's saying because he got leaked of him, his junk got leaked. So he's saying, and
this bar is getting worse the more you explain it.
Yeah.
It's not.
We gotta move on, bro.
Like he's digging himself a grave with his dick.
Yeah,
this feels like the Rebel Moon of rap music, where you're like, "This is bad," and then you watch it further. This is really bad, and then you're like, "Let me explain the meaning behind Rebel Moon," and you're like, "Zach, you need to stop. Do you need therapy? Like, what the fuck is?"
Oh my god! All right, we got to get through this because I got to roll it a bit. But here we go.
But niggas gotta be sharp and tell the fans who was it. You thought you left D flat, D major. I slit your throat with the razor and do Rick Ross hair like that one flight from Malaysia. I'm your baby mama screensaver. Only fucking with Whitney's, not Millie Bobby Browns. I never look twice at no teenager. I'm a fucking hitmaker, dog, not a peacemaker. Yeah, bullets that I'm stuffing in each chamber. Your ass in extreme danger. Stop buying views and buy comments. You may as well keep the paper. Shit you about to need for later. I give a fuck about your streaming data. You could drop 100 more records. I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe
that's
when you meet your maker.
This is what he sounds like he's done.
That's it.
This is cannabis with the notebook, the notepad.
That's the white flag right there.
That's the best metaphor I've ever heard. Cannabis with the notebook.
With the notebook. It's like I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe when you meet your mate. All right, maybe when we're dead, we'll continue this. But this is over.
Oh, can I talk my shit? Can I talk my shit?
Yo, let me spit my shit, yo.
Let me spit my shit.
You won battle. I got wait.
You could thank the savior. Said if they deleted his music, then
I got 30 pages in this joint
of other people's rhymes.
No,
yeah.
Music is going to a hypocrite. I don't understand why these people praise you. Sounding like you send him commissary when he needs some paper. Album dropping soon. No wonder you turn a clout chaser instead of doing hard labor. Nigga, I see you when I see you like Fantasia. Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor. And when I say I hit your back, it's a lot safer.
That's not bad.
I promise.
Not bad. All right, now the last minute of.
I'm not gonna lie, this shit was some good exercise. Like,
this part is so horrible.
It's good to get out and get the
Pause. Whose pen, Drake? Whose pen?
Yeah. He had to be specific. He didn't say my pen.
I mean, these bars are kind of lackadaisical.
I think he writes his own shit.
Good to get the pen working.
He probably wrote this.
Back in there.
He probably wrote this.
If I was really a predator.
He probably wrote this because
this is so inconsistent that I think he actually wrote it.
He wrote it
like on the fly.
Yo, I know this is like a cold take, but I think he writes his own shit, man.
I think he writes his own shit.
He writes his own lyrics. There are other lyricists credited on the tracks. And they're like, and it's fine. Like, I mean, listen, Kevin Hart, like, listen, I'm one of those people who, like, I take pride in writing my own shit, but I am totally cool because it's songwriting. You're trying to make the song better. I get it. Yeah. I'm 100% with that. But, like, at the same time, don't come on here and say it's good to get the pen working. Bro, you have other people credited as lyricists on every one of your other diss tracks in this beef.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Tell me a song with a writing credit that just says Drake.
Oh, that one.
I think back to back has it.
That's it.
Back to back.
But I mean, are we talking singles or are we talking like just barring out though?
Barring out, there's some stuff that he's
Richie made a good point. He thinks that the timestamp records, he writes those.
With enough time.
He writes one way or another contributed to other people's songs. Just
I feel like with Drake and to be completely honest, I feel like Drake has the ability to rap at a top tier moment, but in this moment he got caught with his own rule that he set up, which is the time framing thing, because he got back to back already. He only had 24 hours. He had a very good beat, but then obviously he rushed it and recorded it and got it mixed and was done because
he missed it. He didn't get a review. Let's not get it twisted though. To Rocky's point, like, Drake can write. I feel like it's getting lost in this conversation. Drake was writing for other people before he had writers.
Yep.
Like, Drake's pen is crazy.
Lauryn Hill. At least he's not giving him the Lauryn Hill treatment, the miseducation treatment.
Right.
Yeah, and I think Rocky has a good point that, like, I do think a lot of people, like, the issue here is that it's the same issue in general. Like, it's very frustrating to hear people glazing this battle like, oh, Drake did something. Like, that's infuriating because it feels like it's gaslighting. I think the other form of gaslighting is being like, oh, well, Drake is a bad writer and he's not real hip hop. Guys, it's been 10 fucking years.
Or come on, you don't stay on top for 10 years.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, there's a lot of hip hop artists. Even Kendrick did have Drake on a record, like, and it's one of his most popular records. We're not gonna act like that's not a thing.
Yeah.
We can't act like these guys are complete trash, garbage music.
The reason this battle is so good and the reason this track is so disappointing is because people expected better. I expected better. I expected, shit, Kendrick's gonna drop his last two
but this
bars.
Is the end. You can't. It's the end. Like, he feels completely defeated. Like,
I don't know
because
I'm a lot of speculation.
He took his best shot. He took Family Matters and stomped it. So I think that demoralized
How do you come
him.
back from that? Like, he definitely feels demoralized.
How you come back, but you double down on the fact that what's his name is a false prophet. He makes great music, but he's not outside.
But then people will flip that and be like,
that's
"But you ain't
great.
outside." Like,
that's the thing about Drake, though. He's not.
It's not going to work for Drake.
He tells you what
like, but you ain't outside.
Drake
that's the thing is, I think the false prophet thing is not.
It will work.
When Drake was clowning him on Family Matters, I thought that was really, really strong. Even on push-ups, push-ups was aggressive. Family Matters was strong. Like, dude, like I can. That's boxing. That's Floyd Mayweather. I'm boxing you, right? And like when I was reacting to this, I stopped that. I screamed like box. Also, this whole monologue at the end, those are disses. Those are great. Yeah. Like the concept of all of them is like solid. Why were these not the bars?
Why were they not the bars? Exactly. Exactly.
Why?
He was tired.
He was
tired.
Other thing,
he guys, the air knocked out of him.
He's tired.
I think it's important to like. I think it's important to like. I think it's important to think about the global context of when he's working on this too. Like, UMG execs have to know that Not Like Us is going to be huge because it's immediately on a playoff game, right? It's like it's in clubs and it's calling their golden boy, their biggest money ticket and the biggest male artist on the planet a pedophile, and people are screaming in clubs. So I say I wouldn't be surprised if that was a phone call or something that was like, you really should stand down here, because Kendrick did threaten that he could go further down the rabbit hole. I don't know if it's as much as Drake feeling defeated, as much as him realizing or somebody convincing him that it wasn't
not going to be.
It would mess with the money.
But you can't, you can't take this back now. This song is going to ring all summer. Like, unless they agree.
All summer,
unless they agree.
And documentaries about this battle. Like, this is a historic battle.
Somebody mentioned this is the last thing, and I got to run, but
yeah,
for sure, this is history. Like, regardless of who you think won, or, I think it's pretty clear. But
this is the greatest battle.
It's going to change battles forever.
Sorry, Rand wants to say on this. I will say that, like, I think long term they'll both recover. It's like Jay-Z and Nas. They'll both recover, and if they're big about it, they'll fucking make up.
They're not losing no money over this. They got 40 million streams.
Fools ain't making.
I think Drake will lose money. Drake will lose money, but he'll eventually recover.
Because like at the end of the day, like Drake is the bigger like international artist, like by far.
Yeah, but like he's kind of looking
but like
like
you said, Not Like Us. Let's not look at like don't ignore the ramifications of Not Like Us, like playoff games, yada yada. It's got the number. It's the most streamed record in 24 hours.
Yeah, you saw what happened at the OVO store in London got tagged, and
so even the only thing that could happen that could be like maybe they take their foot off the gas if, let's just say, somebody was like, oh, they should. Maybe if Kendrick was like, oh, this is a hit, let me pull it back. Write a new song to Not Like Us that's not calling the biggest artist in the world a pedophile.
You mean like what was it like? What's the Black Eyed Peas? The first Black.
Let's get it started. It was something else.
But take this into consideration.
That shit don't exist.
We are on here still talking about this song, playing this music over. Like, this is the type of advertising you can't pay for. The stream numbers on this are insane. Okay, and if you know anything about TV and licensing, do you know how much fucking money you get if your song plays on SportsCenter for 30 seconds?
That's an easy $15K. Like
and Mustard, that's a homegrown beat, man. You have nobody to answer to.
No samples,
Yeah, that might be a West Coast anthem for even a long
time. They are printing money at the record label right now.
Even, I mean, you talk about Spotify, bro. Like, I mean,
they're printing
whatever.
Money.
Spotify not being fair to artists or whatever. The point is, Euphoria has 50 million streams on Spotify. Not Like Us has 19 million in a day and a half almost. You make about $4,000 per million on Spotify. So
they're printing the money, dog.
And this is a digital product that you don't have to package up, you don't have to seal, you don't have to mail to anybody. This is just money coming in the mailbox. Like, it's just easy money.
Yo,
in a week,
we know
streams.
And not like we know, but like, do you think Kendrick is gonna drop like an actual album sometime this year?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
he's only
gonna make more money.
I think he's been loading up for it. This might push it back.
I've been saying he's working. Yeah.
This
might push it back.
Motive. The ulterior motive.
Yeah, it might definitely push it back.
Kick an insecure person, get him to respond, drag him like he's been meaning to do, and then ride that momentum into an album that is more critically well received than his very personal Mr. Morale album.
Yes.
I mean, was I don't think it was the worst of the three critically received, but it was still
it was still good. I don't know if
we like it, but I mean,
I don't know if we like it as much as Damn or
definitely
Good Kid or Butterfly. So he's due for a comeback, so to speak. So maybe this is it, but we'll see. All right, y'all.
Also,
Thank y'all for being here. I gotta run. I know we can talk about this all night.
Quick.
I gotta run though. But
right.
man, I could just let this run if y'all want to keep talking because I gotta go take
I gotta take off.
Yeah. All right, y'all go ahead.
It was fun, y'all.
Thanks for the invite, man. Good to chat with y'all.
Man. Glad I got to jump on.
Good to chat, man. Y'all.
Man. Appreciate it. Follow everybody.
Nice to meet y'all. Nice to meet you, Rocky. I see Dash, Grayson,
Slop, Grayson, Zed Tabati, Slop Funk Dash, Rocky Tirade Dash. Who else came in? Rock Knowledge came through. Risey K came through. Appreciate it so much. All right, y'all. We out.
Yep.
Yeah. Peace. All right. Deuces.